Hi, Sapri. Um, we're going to be starting our lesson for cloud. I was sick last time, so I couldn't do it that Sunday. But since we have like our account set up and everything, this should be a relatively easier class. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen with you, and we'll get started. All right, just put that there, and there we go. So this is our cloud computing part 2. So first we're gonna start with utilizing an elastic beanstalk. So basically, to explain what an elastic beanstalk is, it's basically a cloud-based service where people can easily launch web applications. And what I mean by that is like anything that runs online. So usually these include websites, but then this can also be like a game. So anything that has code and can be uploaded online, the elastic beanstalk handles this and launches the web application. And this is like any type of code that runs online. And um, did Supreet leave? Okay. Yeah. Um, Sorry, I just had to let you in from the other computer again. Okay. So let me just reshare just in case it's stopped. Okay. So as I was saying, an elastic beanstalk is launches web applications and utilizes any code that you've created and launches it online. Um, and essentially, the difference between this and running it on one's computer is that this one is online as opposed to it running on the computer's own operating system. So like instead of running on Windows' own operating system, you can put it online. And in AWS, you can upload code in almost any language. Usually people upload in Python, but you can also upload it in Java and Ruby. And it will automatically deploy it. So it will handle different processes that you would usually have to do on your own if you were deploying it yourself. So it handles deployment and manages capacity, balancing load. So different parts of the website, like where it needs more load, it handles that and balances it out. Scaling, which means the capacity remains steady and doesn't randomly spike, and web app monitoring. So this just makes sure everything is running correctly. It also allows the user to add any resources and instances needed to optimally run the web application. So if you want to add a resource or instance, like an instance like a T2 micro that we used last time, it can easily add that anywhere needed. And it doesn't take that long either. They just need to click a few buttons and the instance or resource is added. And you can test around and play with it to see how it works. And you could remove it if it ends up not suiting your website. So basically the effectiveness and more so the ease that you get with AWS, that's a lot more efficient as compared to or doing it yourself. And it also monitors health by gathering 40 essential elements. So it just makes sure your website is running properly. If anything needs to be updated, everything will automatically happen. So it'll automatically update and add the latest security. So those are the benefits of an elastic beanstalk and essentially what it does. So now what you're gonna do is sign into your AWS account that you created last time. So you can go to AWS, educate over here, and then sign into the console. I was already signed in, but it'll probably ask you to put your email. click next, and then enter the verification code. Okay, you already signed in. Perfect. So now what you're going to do is go in this search bar over here. So we're actually going to be using, oh, sorry, not S3, Elastic Beanstalk. S3 is later in the class. So you're going to type in Elastic Beanstalk. And then over here, it should say run and manage web apps. Okay, so we're going to click Elastic Beanstalk. And we can see here, I actually already have one running, but I'll be showing you how to create one from scratch. All right, so I'm on slide 9. Let's see here. Okay, I'll go to slide 10. Yeah, just create application name. Hold on. Create application. Here. Okay, yeah, you should be here. Basically, we're gonna start off by naming our application. So you can do like, I'll just do like a test name like my app test. That's gonna be my application name. You can name it something similar. You don't need a description. That's if you were actually creating a website and deploying it for people to actually use, but we're not gonna put a description. In terms of keys and tags, we don't actually need any right now. So we're just gonna click create. Okay. Something different. Okay, I'll go back. Do you have something like what's on this? Yeah, you can share your screen. Okay, yeah, okay. So my app perfect, you can scroll down, you don't need any key or value. And you see where it says platform, you can say, select that and do Python. Perfect. Yeah, perfect. And then we're gonna click sample application. It's already created. Okay, yeah, that's good. Okay, so your application is configuring right now. It'll probably take a few minutes, but it can also be done quickly. So just hold on to it, and then just let me know when it's finished. Okay. Okay, so yeah, it's still starting. In the meantime, I'll create mine too, just in case. Just reshare your screen when it's done loading. Just give it a few more minutes. It should probably be done by like 1:15. Yeah, that's fine. It's expected. Like even mine isn't done yet. But it shouldn't take like more than 10 minutes to create. All right. You can reshare your screen. Okay. So as you can see, the health says okay. So basically, we know the health is good, and we can see it's running on Python on the right. All right. So basically, what we're going to do now is click our the environments icon in the top left. So like right under Elastic Beanstalk, it'll say environments. Yeah. And you can see it's running here. So what you're just gonna click the URL over here, where it says like right under the URL tab. Click that, and yeah. So basically, this is the like default that it runs. Uh, it's like the pre-made code. So this is just like to get your Elastic Beanstalk working. This is kind of test. So basically you've successfully created a like website running in the cloud. If you actually wanted to create one, you'd have to like code one in Python, but this is essentially how to create one and deploy a website in Python. And all of this is managed, so it manages like scaling and everything, as I mentioned before. Updates are automatic, so it's not like you have to manage it much. It all automatically does all these things for you. So that's essentially the benefit that AWS offers when creating websites in the cloud. Okay, so now I'll move on to data storage. Um, this might take a little longer because data storage requires a lot of different permissions, but I'll go ahead and share my screen first to the slides. Could you stop sharing? No, like, could you stop sharing your screen first? I'm gonna explain it first. All right, thank you. Um, oh, you're good, okay. So storing data in the cloud. So the benefits of data storage in the cloud are that it can be accessed easily, shared easily, and basically accessed from anywhere in the world. As I mentioned in the first class, as long as you have an internet connection, if your data is uploaded, you can access it from wherever you are. And this is backed up on multiple servers, so it basically won't take up any storage on your personal machine and also prevents the risk of data loss or breach. So if anything happens to your personal computer, if there's like a fire in your house or something, all your data is going to be gone. That cannot be restored. But if it's in the cloud, it's backed up on servers. And it's not just one server site, it's multiple sites. It's backed up on multiple servers. So then it's insanely difficult for your data to ever get lost. And with all the security that's also there, a breach is also nearly impossible. That is the benefit of essentially storing data in the cloud. And we're going to be using Amazon Web Services to do that. So what you're going to do first is go to the search bar and type in S3 and click on the first link. It should say scalable storage in the cloud. And this is an S3 bucket. Okay. So as you can see here, I have a lot of the different buckets here. Um, these are all tests that I've done previously. Um, but what you're gonna do is click create bucket over here. And this bucket is where we're gonna store like our data. And we're gonna be storing like a basic image that we'll download from Google. But for now, we have to put in the information for creating the bucket. I'll call it test bucket. It can't have uppercase letters like you can see over here, uppercase or spaces. And the name has to be unique. All right. So I'm gonna call it test bucket one. Okay, this name is valid, right? So just make sure you don't have any spaces or uppercase letters. Make sure your region is Virginia. That is the server site nearest to us. For object ownerships, so this is one of the security features that we have to enable. So object ownership, so this basically means that objects can be accessed from other AWS accounts. So we need to enable this so that we ourselves will actually be able to see it, or else the permissions won't allow it. So we're going to select ACLs enable. This will allow us to see the objects in our bucket. You could do bucket owner, it doesn't really matter. And then over here, it says block access settings for this bucket. Make sure this is unchecked, or else we won't be able to access our data. And click I acknowledge the current settings. Right, so we need to be able to access it. We're technically considered a public, like when we're accessing it, right? So make sure block all public access is unchecked, and then check this box. Bucket versioning you can disable. Essentially what bucket versioning is that it keeps different types of the same object in the same bucket. So if you have like a duplicate object, it'll have that in the same bucket. But right now we can have that disabled because we don't really need to worry about that. We don't need any tags. We don't need any encryption. And yeah, we don't need to go to advanced settings. So we can just click create bucket. It says a name already exists. Okay. I'll just do like 1, 2, 3, AC. Here, I'll put my name. Okay. Now the bucket has successfully been created. So like, as you can see, like there are a lot of different names that you can't use because they've already been utilized. Every name has to be unique. But over here, I've created my bucket, Arnav bucket 1, 2, 3. So now we're going to click on this. This is where we're going to be storing our data. And as you can see over here, we have upload. Let me see. Okay, yeah, you can share your screen if you need any help. And just to like show me where you are. Oh yeah. Okay. ACL is enabled. Perfect. You can go down now. Perfect. Acknowledge. That's good. Disabled. Yeah, you're good. You can create your bucket. Oh, what is it saying? Is it because of your name? Go up. Yeah, so that's already taken. So you can like put your name or something so that like it's less likely to be taken. Just let me know when it's been created. I can share my screen now. Okay. So this is kind of what it should look like. Actually, for you, it'll look like this, but you'll only have one, the one that you created. You can click the link, right? On a bucket 1, 2, 3. And then as you can see right now, there are no objects inside of it. It says no objects. So we actually will need to upload some objects, right? So that we can store this data. So I'm just gonna go to Google and search for an image. AWS images. I'll go to this image. I'll right click it, um, download, or save image as, right? And just make sure it saves in your downloads folder. I'll call it like AWS. Okay, that didn't download correctly. Let me just redo it. Save image as. Perfect. Now this will download. So make sure it downloads as a PNG. Like what you just saw before, that was like a web image. Make sure that's not downloaded. Make sure it's like a PNG. And once you open this, it opens in your file explorer like this, right? So you just need like, yeah, you can add whatever image you want. Just make sure like it's a .png. So over here, we haven't uploaded any objects yet, but we just downloaded one from the internet. So we can click upload. It'll bring you to this page, and you're gonna click add files, okay? Don't click add folder, just click add files. And now you can see here, I have the PNG file that I just created. I'm gonna click this, open it. So now you can see over here, our PNG is added. It's over here. This is the name, the type, and the size, right? So now we have this file in here, but we still need to update the permissions. So click upload, right? Once you've uploaded it, click the link on the image. And then you'll have to click permissions. Let me know when you're here. Or if you need help getting to this page, just like type it in the chat. Okay, perfect. So now that we're here, you can see over here, and we're gonna edit the permissions, right? So we're on the, make sure you're on the permissions tab and then click edit. So now over here, for you, right, the object owner, you can read, right, you can do everything. But once you actually access this in a tab, it doesn't count you as the object owner, and it thinks you're like public, so everyone, right? So you need to enable public access. So for everyone, for public access, make sure you have clicked read. It'll bring this red exclamation point. You can ignore that, right? Anyone in the world can access this object. If it's a personal image, then like I suggest not. If you're not fine with a personal image going on the internet, then I suggest not doing that. But like, you know, like what I just uploaded is just like an AWS image, so it doesn't matter, right? So everyone for public access, make sure this is enabled. I understand the effects of these changes, and then click Save Changes. Let me know when you're done. All right. Now you should be on this screen. It should have said successfully edit access control. And now you can see the object URL over here. Once you click this, now it brings you to this image. So this is actually stored on the cloud. I know it looks like a regular image, but this is stored on your bucket in the cloud. Okay, so if we didn't update the permissions, it actually wouldn't let us access it. It would say like you're not allowed to access the image, but now once we click here, our image is accessed. So right over here. If there are multiple images, those would also appear, but I've only put in one image for now. Let me know if it looks the same for you if your image has been added. Yeah, you can share your screen. Yeah, just click the object URL. Okay, perfect. Okay, so now your object has been added and you can view it there, right? So that's stored on the cloud. If you ever want to remove it, I can show you how to do that right now. So let me just share my screen. So right, we have our upload status here. You can go back to the S3 management console, right? That was by clicking here. And what you can do is update the permission or go to object actions and say, let's see here. I'm not really sure right now how to delete the object. Let me go to my buckets and see. Here, bucket test 1, 2, 3. Oh, all right. Over here, it says empty and delete, right? So you just got to go back to all your buckets over here. Select the bucket you want to delete, and then click delete. It will say this bucket is not empty. So first you need to empty the objects before deleting them, right? So over here, there's also the box empty over here. So click empty first. To confirm, type permanently delete. It just wants to make sure that you meant to do this. So this will delete all your data stored there. So you can click empty. You can say successfully emptied the bucket, right? So nothing is in here now. If I go back to my buckets now if I try and delete this, here, now I can confirm it. See, I have to enter the name of my bucket. So Arnav bucket 1, 2, 3, delete bucket. So my bucket is gone. My data in the bucket is gone. Nobody can view that anymore. So that's completely disappeared now, right? So that's essentially how to create a bucket, store data, and then delete it. Are you good? Just, just let me know in the chat. All right, good. Now, I'll share to the slides again, and this is just our closure. So this is just a reminder of who we are and why we're doing this. So again, we're a nonprofit company known as Worthy Works, and our nonprofit includes STEM and other courses and activities, mainly circling around coding and other tech-related areas. We take their knowledge and use it to show other kids out there that they can also have fun and learn while they're at it. Okay, so I'm Arnav. These are the other mentors. Okay, yeah, you don't have to delete it if you don't want to. You could keep it there. Yeah, they're from our school. Yeah, I know you from our school. Okay. So yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for today. You are free to go now. If you have any other questions, you can let me know. But you're free to leave if you don't have any other questions. Thanks for joining. Okay, so I have a lot of other classes that I do. So this is one of my cloud course. This is my first cloud course that I actually created. This is like a beginner's course. In the future, I'll be like doing more advanced courses with the cloud. But I also have courses such as like Python and Java. Like in case you want to do that, I also host those like I host a lot of classes on break, but then I also do a lot in the summer. So then, if you ever want to join in the future, just like type in WorthyWorks on Facebook. You should uh, see all the different classes that I do. All my information is there. You can also like email me um, in case you want to join a class. And um, I also always post like flyers in the WhatsApp group. So whenever you see something by WorthyWorks, that's from us. All right. Thank you. Yeah. One last thing. Any suggestions on hosting class? So like if you want to host classes, is that what you're talking about? Do some Zoom classes. Um, so I actually have, and we never did it before. So I'd say first, just make sure your material is like very easy to understand. Um, so like you could create it on slides. I prefer doing slides just because it's easy to navigate and create. Make sure you have very, very clear directions and kind of do the extra you can. So if you have a recording of your class beforehand, like let's say you guys practice and do a recording, you can post that because sometimes people just need like some guidance, right? And they can't follow along in classes sometimes, especially if you have a large amount of people. Like for example, this class, I posted it over spring break, so it wasn't as many people. But like for my Java class, I had one time like around 30 people. So and I split it up amongst my three friends. So just make sure it's split and make sure your content is extremely easy to follow. So make sure your slides are posted, everyone can access them. And so your content just has to be very simple. Make sure you have like a kind of like a set group of people you want to do it. So don't have an age group that's photography and editing. Okay, yeah. So I've actually done a little bit of editing before, but it's more like video editing. I don't do like photography and Photoshop. Um, I'd say like the software you're using. Oh, awesome. So that's good. Um, So the software you're using, just make sure that's like easy to download. Um, are you using like Filmora 9 or something? Oh yeah, CapCut. Okay. Yeah, I've used that before. Um, yeah. So that's not that hard to use. That's pretty easy. Um, so yeah, just make sure you have clear directions. Make sure when you're speaking, you just have a loud voice and make sure you clarify things and like constantly repeat them. Like if you saw like what I was doing here, I repeated a lot of things just so that you had a firm understanding. Because a lot of times people get an idea but don't really understand it and then they kind of learn it and go off. But you want to have people that are like invested in it and actually understand. So make sure you explain things really well and your directions are very easy to follow. Make sure you're speaking like kind of loud. Um, Make sure you advertise in advance. So put out the flyer around a week before. Um, yeah, those are basic things that you do. Other than that, like if you're skilled with like, video editing and photo editing, I'm that's actually a very good idea. Um, so yeah, like just have it advertised to a certain group of people that you know will be able to follow along with you. So don't do anyone too young. And then, yeah, I think you're good other than that. You're welcome. So if you have any questions or want to join any other classes, you could just email me or look at that WhatsApp group. But other than that, yeah. All right. Thank you. See you at school too. Bye.